It was just after sunset when I realized no one had saved me a plate. The lights in the living room flickered with the soft glow of the television. My husband and his mother sat shoulder to shoulder, laughing at something I couldn't hear. Meanwhile, I emerged from the bedroom, exhausted and empty, still cradling the faint scent of milk and baby powder on my shirt. I had been breastfeeding our newborn son. He's 5 weeks old. My body aches. My sleep comes in scraps. And the house, our house, hasn't felt like mine in weeks. But in that moment, as I stood between the door frame and the kitchen, what gutted me wasn't just the hunger in my stomach. It was the silence, the complete disregard, the sharp edge of being invisible in my own home. I asked where dinner was. My husband didn't even look at me. Probably on the stove, he muttered, eyes glued to the TV. I took a step toward the kitchen, trying to ignore the fatigue crawling through my bones. And that's when his mother, who's been camped out in our living room since I gave birth, called out without turning her head. "Oh, I didn't save you anything. You weren't at the table, so I figured you weren't hungry." I stood there, stunned, like my hunger didn't matter, like my absence, while I was feeding her grandchild, was some kind of choice. I snapped. I told her I had been with my son, that of course I was hungry. I was starving. But she shrugged, all cool dismissal. "Not my fault you didn't show up," she said. She knew. She knew where I was, what I was doing, how exhausted I am. My husband didn't say a word, not in my defense, not even to acknowledge the cruelty. When I turned to him, hoping for the smallest show of loyalty, he scolded me for raising my voice. And when I asked him, quietly, bitterly, why he didn't think to save me food himself, he snapped. "What the fuck do you want me to do?" "Maybe just save me some food, that's all." That's what I said. His mother jumped in, defending him like a guard dog. "He worked a long shift. You should be grateful he even got to eat." And just like that, I was the villain. Never mind the fact that I hadn't eaten in hours, that my body is still healing, that every drop of energy I have has gone into caring for our child. I'm the selfish one, the ungrateful one, because I dared to expect decency. That night, I packed a small bag, a few clothes, diapers, a bottle. I called my brother, and I walked out. My husband followed me to the door, yelling, saying what I was doing was uncalled for, saying I was childish, saying his mother had put her life on pause to help me and I should be ashamed for talking about her like that. But help? Help would look like rest, like support, like saving food for a woman nursing a child. What I got was a crowded living room, a messy house, and a grown man who couldn't lift a finger for the mother of his newborn son. My brother arrived, no questions asked, just concern in his eyes. On the ride to my mom's house, he picked up food. I ate in the passenger seat like a bear out of hibernation, and I felt something I hadn't felt in weeks. Warmth. Home. At my mother's house, I slept in clean sheets. I ate real food. I was treated not like a burden, but like someone who mattered. And my husband, he hasn't stopped calling. At first, it was guilt. "You're punishing me over food?" Then it turned into rage. "You're keeping my son from me." And finally, insults. "You're nuts. Come home today." But I told him the truth. I miss my mom. I like it here. I feel safe. I feel seen. Something I haven't felt since before the baby was born. His family joined in, of course. The chorus of accusations, that I was being manipulative, that I was keeping a father from his child. But the truth is simple. I never denied him access. I told him he could come visit, but he refuses. Why? Because he hates my mom. He refuses to be in the same room as her. He would rather stew in his pride than hold his son. Still, I felt bad for him. I softened. I sent him a few pictures of our son sleeping, thinking it might ease the tension, show I wasn't trying to hurt him. And his response? A wall of text, full of fury, accusing me of rubbing it in his face that he can't see his child, that I'm being cruel, that I'm using our baby against him. He ended it by calling me a bitch. He's never used that word before. Never. And it shattered something inside me. I decided then that I need more time, more space. I'm going back tomorrow to get the rest of my things. Not to talk, not to argue, just to take what belongs to me and my son. I thought that would be the end of it. But tonight, as I was finally winding down, phone on silent, baby asleep, he sent another message, a picture. He and his mother, standing side by side, cooking in our kitchen. The caption, "We're making dinner, not including you, for real this time." I stared at the screen, blinking. I laughed, not from humor, from disbelief. This wasn't just petty. This was venom. And then, as if that weren't enough, another message came. He said he'd only be willing to visit our son tomorrow if I get my mother out of the house. He wants me to ask my own mom to leave her own home for 2 hours, just so he can show up and avoid facing the woman who's done nothing but help her daughter survive postpartum hell. It's so absurd. It's almost surreal. I haven't responded. I won't. Not tonight. I need to protect my peace for just one night. Tomorrow, I'll go collect the rest of my life from that house, and I'll stay here in the only place that's made me feel human since I gave birth. So, am I the asshole? Because I couldn't take one more night of being invisible. Because I chose food, warmth, sleep, and dignity. Because I left. Because I dared to say, I matter too. And now, a word from the vault. What happens when the person you married turns out to be just a son, not a partner? What happens when help is offered with strings, with judgment, with spite? Here's the truth. Sometimes the moment you realize you deserve more doesn't come in a grand gesture. Sometimes it comes at the stove, when you find out there's no plate for you, no seat at the table, no care, no thought, no love. It comes when you're 5 weeks postpartum, sleep-deprived, bone-deep hungry, and you realize you're mothering your child and your marriage alone. It takes courage to walk away, even more courage to stay gone. To every mother listening, your hunger matters, your pain matters, your voice, your sleep, your sanity, they all matter. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Now, we want to hear from you. What is real help? What does partnership really look like when a new life enters the world? Have you ever had to choose your peace over your partner? Leave your story in the comments. This is the AITA Story Vault. And sometimes, silence at the dinner table says everything.